Hello, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast. Just Chris isn't here today, so should be a good show, I think.
Yeah, definitely an improvement on the last 6 episodes.
Yeah.
We at 6, right?
Maybe. We can make it 6. We'll just call the next one 5B if we're at 4. Or at 2. I don't know. There's a sentence in there somewhere.
We should just talk a bunch of shit about Chris in the first, 5 minutes just to see if he listens to the episode or not. And, be like, what do you think? He'd be like, yeah, it was good.
Oh, just like that Jameis Winston.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, really get him good.
Or we could put it in the middle,
We could.
Or you mean Jamarcus Russell?
Oh, yeah, Jamarcus Russell. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You ever hear that story, Jeff?
No, but we should time out a Chris joke every 13 minutes to see if he listens to the whole thing.
I mean, I know he's going to listen to the whole thing, but
he
always do that.
He always takes down the whole thing. What a champion.
But yeah, you ever hear that story, Jeff?
You said Jamarcus Russell?
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus
He was a former...
remember him?
No.
He's a number 1 pick in 2007.
No.
All right, yeah. Well, he was a quarterback for the Raiders. The coaching staff didn't think he was actually watching the film that they would give him, so they sent him home one weekend with a blank tape. And he came back on Monday and was like, "Yeah, really?" They were like, "Hey, Jamarcus, how'd you get anything from those tapes we gave you? Were you able to break the defenses down?" He's like, "Yeah, totally. I definitely I understood everything." So that's how they figured out that he wasn't even watching the film they gave him.
Was he starting?
Yeah, he was the starting quarterback at that point.
Oh,
I think so.
He didn't play long, though.
I would imagine.
Yeah, he didn't start the first 10 weeks of his rookie year because he held out all of training camp and preseason for his contract.
Yeah.
And then basically just the next season he came in at 300 pounds and that was pretty much it. Yeah.
300 pounds
the biggest bust in NFL history.
My guy.
I mean, he escaped with the bag, if we're being real.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's why it's good that they don't allow them to negotiate their own contracts now for the rookies.
Yeah, it's I think it's set pricing. It goes up every year, but it's set.
You're still making a shit ton of money if you're the number 1 pick, just not $75 million or whatever it was he got.
68. He got 6 years for 68 with 32 guaranteed.
So he definitely walked away with 32.
100. Yeah, he walked away with that money.
Unless he's one of the guys that just blow it all and
No, he did. He's broke. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he wasted all of that money.
Really?
Yeah.
And then
you hate to see it.
5 years after he got cut, he got back into shape and tried to make a comeback and just nobody signed him.
I would imagine Tebow's making a comeback now, right?
All right.
Unfortunately,
the most ridiculous thing.
What's he supposed to go to the Jets?
No, he's
Jaguars.
To the Jaguars because the coach of the Jaguars, Urban Meyer, was
the coach of
his
Florida?
head coach at Florida when he played, and he's boys with him. So that's the only reason why
it's so
shot. Is he going to be a quarterback?
No, a tight end. But it's the epitome of nepotism,
Yeah.
He's 33.
He really doesn't deserve that shot. 33. He's had 2 failed sports careers at this point.
How far do you make in baseball?
AA.
That's farther than I did.
I think the only reason why he made it out of A-ball was because he was people were buying tickets to come
people
see
were
him.
buying tickets and jerseys, and they were making money off of them.
We could have went to go see him at the Yard Goat Stadium, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, at one point we probably could have.
That would have been sick. I would have heckled him the whole time.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to love Tebow, though. In high school, I had a picture of him hanging in my locker.
That's a little bit weird.
Really?
Do you remember when they beat the Steelers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember it.
I was dating a girl that liked the Steelers at the time, so I cut out a picture of Tebow after the game, and I taped it to the side of my locker.
That's classic.
Yeah, that's pretty effective.
Yeah, the relationship did not work out.
Yeah, the Tebow hype train was ridiculous after that. It was never higher after that Steelers playoff game. Because he threw that game-winning pass to Demaryius Thomas in overtime.
Dude, that was wild.
And then I think they played the Pats in like the divisional the next week and just got waxed.
Yeah, dude. They got blown out.
So, but yeah, anyway, I mean, it's completely ridiculous that he's getting another chance. He hasn't played in the NFL in what, like 8 years?
It has to be something like that. Let me fact check.
Good for him. He's like a monster of a human being, apparently.
I mean, he's a big human.
If he had converted to tight end when he first came in the league,
he might have been pretty successful. The speed was there.
He would have had a chance.
Yeah.
He would have had a chance.
Who knows? Maybe not playing football all that time will do his body a little better.
I mean, I'm sure his body feels better, but there's no way he's as athletic as he was, like 10 years ago.
When's your peak athleticism? Like, what's your prime?
If you're like...
The years we are like right now.
Yeah, really? If you're like working on taking care of your body. Yeah.
Dude, it's like 26 to 33.
I'm screwed.
Yeah, same.
This is peak performance, man.
I can't imagine what the
downturn's
going to be.
And then it just gets more and more difficult to like get back into shape the older you are. So I might need to start now.
Yeah.
I should have started probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah, honestly.
Hey, what are you going to do, though? You win some, you lose some.
I was in pretty good shape for like my whole life until like I broke my thumb like 2 summers ago, and then I couldn't play any sports. And then the summer after that, like Corona happens, so I wasn't really doing anything last year. And I've never really been someone to like go to the gym to stay in shape. I've more just been like play basketball, play tennis, do whatever outside, So
yeah, it's tough, especially now that everything's drinking based.
Yeah,
especially with Corona.
Yeah, for sure.
But what are you gonna do? Do you guys have a good Mother's Day? Do anything fun?
I had a decent Mother's Day.
I went over my cousin just moved into like his new house with his fiance in Milford, so I just went over there for like brunch and stuff.
Sounds fancy.
Yeah, no, the house is really nice. It's in a good area. They're like a few minutes from the beach. It's nice.
Hell yeah.
They got like a big finished basement with like my grandfather made like a bar and put it down there. And,
it's pretty sick.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a nice setup.
Damn, I want a bar in the basement. That'd be sweet. Something to work towards.
Yeah, for sure.
I went to that brewery in New Britain, 5 Churches, and I had the craziest beers, strawberry milkshake IPA. It tasted identical to strawberry milkshake.
Nice. You, Zach, and your mom went?
Yeah, my dad was there too.
Nice.
Dragged him along. My brother's fiance, so, nice little family outing.
It's pretty cool. How was the brewery?
The brewery was sick. It's like a old factory converted, obviously, but the whole like upstairs is where the brewery is.
Oh, nice.
So it's like pretty big. It's open. They have a tiny patio.
How'd you feel on Saturday, Jeff?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Felt absolutely trash.
I mean, honestly, I felt pretty bad too.
Yeah.
I didn't even drink that much.
We went to the casino and the casino won.
Yeah, the house definitely won on Friday.
Dude, I could not catch a break on the roulette wheel. And then after, when I walked away, we were walking back to find everybody, all the number of planes started hitting.
Dude, I probably, every time I got a roll, like for craps, I probably got 2 throws in and rolled a 7 every single time.
Really?
Yeah. So I was just pissing away money. And then one of our friends got on an unbelievable hot streak with rolling the dice. He like threw for like 20, 30 minutes.
Really?
But at that point in the night, I didn't have the money to like
risk on it.
Yeah, I couldn't throw money. Like I really wanted to put money on the board and start betting numbers, but I didn't have like the capital to do it unless I wanted to like just go absolutely broke.
Yeah.
And yeah, he rolled for like 20, 30 minutes. If I'd actually bet on him, probably would have won just as much as he did. But instead, I mean, he salvaged my night. If I didn't, like, I still made money off of it.
Yeah.
But it was just to, like, bring me back closer to even rather than like actually making money.
Hey, if you're leaving even at the casino, that's a win.
No, I still left down a lot. But I mean, he brought me
I left dead even.
he brought me closer to even than I was.
Damn, dude. Yeah, Saturday was Friday night. Long night. Brutal.
Yeah. Saturday I didn't do anything. I think I slept for a combined like 18 hours that day.
Really?
I got home, slept, woke up for like 3 hours, and then went back to bed.
I came home Saturday, took a shower, and just chose absolute chaos over doing anything. I started watching Invincible, and I got maybe 2 episodes in, and then Chris showed up, and he's like, hey, let's go to the Packy, get some beers we're playing D&D later. So we get a couple beers, and then that turns into taking Jaeger bombs while playing D&D.
You guys played up here?
Yeah.
Who'd you play with?
There's me, Tyler, and Atticus, you know.
Nice. You guys are still doing the same campaign?
Yeah. It's called Curse of Strahd. It's a good one, but finally finished Invincible. Fantastic.
Oh, nice.
It is a fantastic show. I mean, spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't watched Invincible, but we're about to talk about it for a little bit.
Yeah. Dude, it was way more brutal than
Oh, yeah.
you guys try to prepare me,
Yeah.
but
Like, I mean, right, like the last 5 minutes of episode 1 is just absolute chaos.
because you've been saying for a while, hey, start it, finish the first episode, the last 10 minutes is just unravels.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes gets you hooked. Because, like, I watched it with a friend last week, and I was like, yo, just let me, he's like, oh, I've been seeing it on Twitter a bunch, like, haven't started. I was like, all right, we're not doing anything right now, like, let me show you episode 1.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. So we're going through the episode, and like obviously it's a rewatch for me. So I'm like picking up on things, like, because you pick up on things in the beginning that like you don't understand until like after you watch like episode 8, like 7 and 8 to like figure out what exactly like the whole like what Omni-Man's mission is.
Yeah.
Like you could pick
on
up
the
on
rewatch, you're like, wait, Omni-Man's he's bad?
But-
morally gray.
Yeah, like
Well, he's not a human, so I guess you can't apply human ethics to an alien. That's like
Right.
saying
That's what he
that
did say.
a human that's smashes a fly is like evil.
yeah.
It's like
But like you could see like one of the things that like stuck out to me was you could see how upset Omni-Man was
At the end.
when Mark got his powers.
Yeah.
Like when he realized like, okay, I now have to like
he can't stall
I have to
anymore.
deal with
yeah,
this,
he's like he can't stall anymore. Like he's like Mark has his powers. And like he says like there's a line where he goes, sometimes I wish like he just didn't get his powers at all.
Mhm.
Because if he didn't, he could have just lived.
and chilled for another 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, he would have to explain. Well, they already know he's a Viltrumite, so like obviously he could outlive their lifespan.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have to murder an entire fucking planet while Mark and his wife are alive. He could have just waited if Mark never got his powers.
That subway scene at the end was the
Absolutely fucking brutal.
It was. I was not ready for the subway scene.
No, I wasn't. And that's
So spoiler warning, but Subway Jared ended up being the mastermind. Of
Subway
entire
Jared is
operation.
actually
yeah.
Omni-Man.
Yeah,
in
Omni-Man is
disguise.
aiding him in running a pedophile cabal that controls the world.
You ever watch Iron Man 3? Where
Oh, he's the Mandarin.
yeah, he's the Mandarin.
Subway Jared?
Yeah, Subway Jared is the Mandarin, and Omni-Man is just the. Or no, it's flip flopped.
Wait,
Yeah.
what's the... I don't remember.
Because
what
the
happens in
Mandarin
Iron Man
is like
3.
Mandarin is like a puppet.
Is that the one with Mickey Rourke?
No, that's the
No,
second
that's the second
Iron
one.
Man.
Okay.
It's the one with what's his name? Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, Ben.
Sir Ben
Oh,
Kingsley.
okay.
Yeah. So
Because it looks like
the whole time, the whole time, Robert Downey Jr. is trying to find the Mandarin, who's Ben Kingsley Jr. And like once he finally finds him, he goes, "Yeah, no, I'm just a puppet."
he goes, they give me millions of dollars. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm just a puppet for someone else, like someone bigger." So yeah, Subway Jared,
Okay.
Omni-Man is the Mandarin, and Subway
Yeah.
Jared is the
puppet.
bigger picture. Yeah, he's a
string.
puppeteer.
Yeah. Wow.
But no, there's nothing that could prepare you for that train scene.
it was-
And the cool thing is that my brothers read all the comics, so
Yeah.
like we talked about it. We talked about everything after each episode like came out, and I watched the finale before he did.
Yep.
So I was like, yo, like, what's good with that train scene? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
oh,
okay, cool. Yeah, it's not in the comics. So he watched and he's like, yeah, like everything that they do, like throwing him through the buildings,
the mountain,
going inside of like the subway station and derailing the train.
Yeah.
I think that happens, but the actual like putting Mark
Scene,
up, yeah,
there were so many bodies flying.
yeah.
That was horrible.
Should we explain what happens to the listeners if they don't plan on watching Invincible?
I guess.
Or should we just keep it
yeah.
like super vague so it's not like that?
No, super vague so they can go watch it, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That works.
super? Yeah, really, really hustle. I mean,
You know, we spoil
talking
half of
about
it for them. They can go watch the other half to get context.
But Seth Rogen is going to be like a big part of like the
I
upcoming
hope so.
ones.
Yeah, I was pumped when he came back. At
Oh
the
yeah,
end.
me too.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
Seth Rogen makes a cameo as an alien.
Yeah. I mean, if you were on the fence about watching Invincible to this point,
You should probably start it.
probably start it.
It's
for one.
animated like a classic 90s super hero cartoon.
Yeah, you know, like Ponch was saying, like it reminds him of like the early DC.
It reminds me
Like-
of early
like the Batman animated
Yeah.
TV show.
like the X-Men one or Batman Beyond,
Yeah,
which is pretty sick. Nostalgia blast.
yeah. But I think my brother was saying that the season spanned about 30 of the comic series. There's 144
So there's
in
enough for
total.
like 4 good seasons.
probably.
4 or
I would say
5.
four good seasons.
Nice.
That's something to look forward to a little bit.
Yeah.
But, so the comics are done. It's
Comics,
wrapped
yeah,
up?
the comics have been done for years.
Okay.
Apparently they have like 40 spin-off comics though of like smaller plot lines.
I didn't know
I
that.
was reading about that in my in-depth research.
Yeah, don't read past what happens this season because
I'm gonna try not to, but
yeah, Chris
I spoil everything.
Chris spoiled something for himself, and
Yeah.
then he told me about it, and then I asked Zach, and Zach went into even more detail. On the
Double
sport.
ruined it.
Yeah, which I mean, like I didn't really care. It's like whatever, but like, yeah, it's my brother was like, I don't know if they could write this out of the TV show, and once he explained it, I was like, yeah, I don't think they can.
Why? It's like really brutal.
It's brutal and it's pretty and like
Intense.
not intense. It's like
Very important for the plot.
yeah, it's very important for the plot.
All right, I'll try to stay. I spoiled Game of Thrones for myself. I spoiled The Boys for myself. I spoiled
Oh, you know what? That's what I
everything
should.
else for myself.
That's probably what I should start next to The Boys. I was looking for something to
Have you not started it ever?
no.
Don't look up anything.
No, the only thing I know from The Boys is the laser baby, and you guys have said that's such like a
Oh, that's
unimportant
like,
piece.
That's just like one scene.
Yeah.
It's a-
like,
it looks
yeah.
pretty sick,
In
but
like
I
the
mean,
4th episode.
Yeah.
It's like a throwaway scene too.
so I
just
might
someone
just
picks up a baby and just uses it as like an impromptu weapon. and
Yeah.
that's
yeah, that's what I
happens.
figured. But
But it's kind of like Invincible, but without animation.
yeah,
Where it's like real life.
yeah. That's the one thing I've been hearing is like it's very comparable to Invincible with like
It's more
just in
of
the
like
regards of like the
Bad,
gore and
yeah.
brutality of
Yes.
it.
In the
Yeah,
first
not
issue-
like
it's more of a
plot-wise,
critique
but-
of like American like capitalism and just
Yeah.
like our
Okay.
society and like
Cool.
commercialism and
Throwing shots at Disney.
yeah.
I might start that tonight then, because like I've been looking for something to just throw on while I play Xbox, and everything I want to watch is in Japanese or Korean.
I did
so
that.
it's very hard for me to just ignore those things.
I did that the other day with was that a new not new, but Blood of Zeus, like that Netflix cartoon. And I did not watch a single one of it, and just looking up occasionally watching like a guy stab a hydra. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. It's nice to watch something where you can just turn your brain off.
Yeah,
Seth Rogen also makes an appearance in The Boys, has like a quick little cameo.
Oh, he's just like playing actor
he's
Seth
playing-
Rogen.
yeah,
right?
he's
oh,
playing
it's sick.
himself.
He's playing himself.
Yeah.
That's dope.
He's just like on TV or something, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They're like walking by, he's giving like an interview about something.
Because yeah, he's an executive producer of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Amazon
Comic
must
nerds,
just be
Seth.
throwing
They're throwing
a lot of money at Seth Rogen
I mean-
for creative purposes.
I mean, that's also like that cast is stacked. Well, not stacked. I don't know who's in that one. I mean, the Invincible cast.
Oh yeah,
The amount of people they threw in there, incredible.
yeah. The Boys cast isn't that stacked. Like
Okay.
Dennis Quaid's kid is in it.
Okay.
Erin Moriarty, I don't know if you know who that is, but she's like blonde. She's like...
No, maybe if I saw her...
The only thing you would probably know her from would be, you know, like True Detective Season 1?
Yeah.
You know how, like, Woody Harrelson's kid, when they're older, she's like a goth chick, and she gets caught in that truck? That's Erin Moriarty.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, she's in it, like... I'm trying to think of who... Oh, I mean, Elizabeth Shue's in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's probably, like, the biggest star, unless I'm just completely blanking on someone.
Someone gets introduced the second season. That's a pretty big star.
That guy Chance Crawford, was he in like? I feel he was in some girl show, right?
No, what's his
like
face?
Gossip Girl or some shit like that.
Gustavo Spring gets introduced.
Yeah, he's in Gossip Girl. Chase
Crawford.
Yeah, he's in Gossip Girl. He was who was he in Gossip Girl?
Anthony Starr is like an amazing
he's
actor,
Nate, yeah.
but I don't really recognize him from anything else. That's Homelander.
I looked up the cast list, and it's Carl Urban.
Oh, yeah, he's the main character.
Oh, yeah, obviously Carl Urban.
He kills it.
Yeah.
But at first, I thought it said Keith Urban.
No.
And I was like, oh, wow, Keith Urban is the star of the show. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it, though. It's cool. It's a good
Simon
show.
Pegg for season 1. That's cool.
What's his face? Gustavo Spring.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah,
That's his name, right?
Yeah, I see him in
Damn.
the cast list thing.
I was spending like 10 minutes the other day trying to think of that guy's name.
Haley Joel Osment makes an
Couldn't-
appearance.
He's in like one episode. Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon appears as himself, too.
I don't remember
Nice.
that. It's probably like Homelander on Fallon or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a fucking translucent. Translucent. Remember in the beginning?
That's
of the
not
show?
Jimmy Fallon.
That's not Fallon.
No.
This other late night talk show.
That's just some guy. Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, I'll definitely give it a watch. Speaking of Seth, like going back to like Seth Rogen,
Did you see the picture of him without the beard?
no, that's not what I was gonna bring up. What I was gonna bring up was I saw an article today on Yahoo News that said like Seth has no plans to work with Franco.
I also
And,
saw
like,
Really?
that.
Yeah,
Did they have a falling out?
No,
They
there's
had a
some
fall-
sort of allegations.
Yeah.
against
There's,
Franco.
like-
Franco.
there was like 5 or 7 allegations against Franco for sexual misconduct, and Rogan was like, yeah, it's like impacted our like personal friendship and our working relationship.
Damn.
Like,
and
I have no plans to work with him in the near future.
true end of an era. No more Rogan movies. Seth Rogen movies.
I mean, Rogan will still put out movies
No, but like the whole cast.
like that.
James
Yeah,
Franco.
like
Oh, right.
No
Those guys are,
Pineapple
like, so
Express
old
2.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Hollywood just doesn't really make movies like that anymore either.
no, that
Like big budget comedies. Like,
that doesn't happen
Yeah,
anymore.
it doesn't exist.
I feel like the last big budget comedy I went to go see in theaters was probably This Is the End, and that movie rocked.
Oh, that movie is incredible.
That's probably the last comedy I went and saw too.
Yeah, unless you
Or
consider like
22 Jump
We're
Street.
the Millers to be a big budget comedy.
No, I didn't even go.
I didn't even
for
see
I
that.
saw
Yeah.
that in theaters.
I've never watched that, to be honest.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's a really good
21
Jennifer Aniston scene.
21, 22 Jump Streets were pretty good,
Yeah.
Right, like they don't make movies like that anymore.
No.
but that's young Franco.
Like Seth Rogen's just probably going to continue to be like a behind the scenes guy for a lot of stuff. Like just directing and producing.
yeah, but check out this picture of Seth Rogen without a beard.
Oh, that's him. He looks like fat Kyle Mooney.
He looks like, T.J. Miller kind of.
I don't really see T.J. Miller.
He looks like fat Kyle Mooney, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The SNL Good Neighbors stuff.
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
I could see that.
Oh, should we talk about Elon hosting?
Oh yeah. Speaking of SNL,
Did you watch
yeah.
any
oh,
of the SNL?
I watched the whole thing.
Oh, how?
I watched it
How
while
was
I was
it?
playing Xbox. I wasn't gonna.
yeah, I
devote my
did.
whole
I did the same
attention
thing.
to
Yeah,
that
but I
fucking
watched the whole
train wreck.
thing.
I saw one sketch, and that was
The
the Chad Elon Musk.
Chat on Mars.
Yeah, and I watched like 2 seconds of it.
That was one
on
of
Twitter.
Yeah, that was one of the better.
Yeah, I guess you could say
Ones, I
that.
would say.
Yeah.
That was the better one.
Yeah. So if-
Was it just the cringiest hour of TV?
yeah,
It's
it was.
not entirely Elon's fault
Yeah, the writers.
A lot of SNL episodes are just pretty bad now.
I haven't watched SNL in years.
The first sketch really hurt.
That was
what
horrible.
was it?
It was a Gen Z
Gen Z Hospital.
Yeah, Gen Z Hospital.
That was
the name of it. And so basically it's just a bunch of it's them in a hospital going Elon Musk is the doctor and one of their friends is apparently it was someone's mom was dying, and they're like, oh no, what happened to Bestie? Just using a bunch of slang and TikTok terminology.
Just being hip.
Yeah. But obviously it's adults using young language that never really
and it's supposed to be cringy, but I just didn't find it to be that. It seemed pretty low effort and it was not that funny.
Going for the low hanging fruit.
Yeah. It was bad. It was very bad. And then also Elon's monologue actually was not as bad.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't think it was. Yeah,
it was all right.
Was it
for a guy who's
Was he a super villain about it?
No, he was cracking jokes. He was a little bit awkward, but I think that's just
he's autistic.
Yeah.
He's literally autistic.
Yeah,
and he's obviously has no acting experience or anything like that. So
he has a couple voice acting credits.
The jokes were really. I mean, obviously it's writers who are writing them for him. I don't think he wrote that monologue, but some of it hit. Some of it was pretty funny.
I just watched my Dogecoin drop.
Yeah, that was
whole time.
That was another
How many Doge?
There was three references.
Well, there was a whole segment around it, kind of during Weekend Update, where they had him come on as a character who's an expert of
cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency, yeah.
So Elon played himself in a sketch.
Kind of,
yeah. And he called himself the Doge Father. And
so he played his online persona from Twitter in a sketch,
pretty much.
And so for it was 2 minutes. Colin Jost and Michael Che, their joke, the punchline of their jokes, were just repeatedly saying, "What is Dogecoin?" to Elon, and Elon would say something,
would just give a different explanation of it,
and be like, "But what is Dogecoin?"
Yeah,
and then he would say something else, and they're like, yeah, so what's Dogecoin? And that went on for 2 minutes.
But yeah, the joke is it's hard to understand what
Dogecoin or any
cryptocurrency is.
Yeah,
and that was the whole thing.
Hey, one of the most well-respected comedy institutions in the game, right there.
It's tough.
Yeah. So tough, I mean,
it's for SNL.
And trust me, I was watching the whole thing and watching my my crypto app
tank.
Just both. Not only the SNL
with each missed joke, it just sank.
Yeah, and there's a graph on Reddit too, where they show you the stock price and then what happens in the episode in real time and how it goes up and down. I'll pull it up.
That's pretty funny.
I heard on another podcast or reading somewhere or something that Grimes appeared in a sketch.
She did. Yeah.
All right. So it was Elon Musk was playing Wario, and he was on trial for the murder of Mario, I think.
Yeah.
Was basically it. And Grimes was playing Princess Peach, but she was doing an Italian accent while
was it bad?
Playing Princess Peach.
Yeah,
Princess Peach does not have an Italian accent. No. Princess Peach is not Italian. What?
So this is the graph. And you can see, and it's marked out with
"Call me the Doge Father." That was the That's where bottom.
That's where bottom out.
Yeah, it's
so it took a shitter after the Gen Z hospital sketch.
Well, it was that bad. They opened on a very flat note with that.
Post-quarantine conversations. That was a good premise, but poorly executed.
Yeah. I love how it plateaus during Miley Cyrus's second performance. So people, they're just, they're watching it.
Yeah. No hate to Miley or the kid Lorelei or however you say his name.
Yeah, that wasn't
the Roy. Good. Yeah. I mean, mainly Miley. Both performances were not good.
They weren't good?
I didn't like them at all.
Definitely I don't think I've ever watched an SNL to be oh wow, special musical guest. I can't wait to see their performance.
Sometimes
depends. When BTS is on, I'm tuning in just for that.
Yeah, when Dua's on.
Yeah,
Dua was good on SNL. What was that, December or something like that?
Yeah,
it's cool with the performances, especially if you go back and watch an old Chappelle Show sketch, and they just have old Kanye West out there.
They have like Ludacris in a parking garage somewhere, just like
dude.
rapping around a bunch of like parked cars.
Wearing
Those were the
So that
days.
could double as a music video for Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, I heard that for Fast 9, they're going to space.
They are.
Are they? Maybe I
That's-
should watch one of these finally because I've still never seen a Fast and Furious movie.
Don't waste your time.
Apparently, people love them.
People do love them, but I mean, if you go in with the expectation that it's not a movie and that it's just some like, it's basically just a fantasy of like,
Fast cars, hot girls.
and like, yeah, and just like doing cool things with your friends, or as Dom Toretto would say, family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not. It's not enjoyable
So-
past that. You just got to go in with the mindset
What
like,
do
oh,
they
this
do?
is.
I guess, do they start off doing normal things in the first one?
1 and 2 are actually about racing, like
Just street
cars.
racing?
Yeah,
And also
like,
a little bit like organized crime. stuff.
yeah.
But it's like fairly.
They sprinkle in the organized crime.
Well, 2 is basically like the whole premise is that they're taking down an organized crime ring.
So they're also
racing.
vigilantes
Well,
through racing.
in the first 2,
Like Paul Walker's
a
character.
cop.
Yeah, he's an undercover
Okay.
cop.
Yeah. So he's like trying not to blow his cover, and like he's trying to get close to like Vin Diesel's character, and like befriend him and all that. And then he actually like falls in love with his
Falls
sister.
in love with Vin Diesel.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
They're
movie
very
is pretty
progressive. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very progressive for their
I'm
time.
surprised they have the audience that likes them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Just
Well, that's why they do so well. It's entirely the LGBT community that comes out to see these movies.
I'd imagine just two bros working on their truck together to reach for the same
Dude.
wrench.
One of the funnier SNL
Just
sketches.
sit in the garage. The cigarettes burn their fingers because they forget to lock eyes.
It's kind of funny because this ties into literally everything we've talked about today. But one of the older SNL sketches that I love, it was Sandberg and Rogen, Seth Rogen, not Joe Rogan, but they did a parody on Fast and the Furious and called it The Fast and Bi Curious. And it's literally just everything that you guys are saying. But like,
Damn.
yeah, they actually put that into fruition.
Damn,
So that's kind of funny.
we're probably like 15 years too late to make the parody.
So then anyway, at some point, probably around like Fast 5.
Is that the
Well,
sad one where
becomes,
Paul
like-
Walker died?
No, that's Fast 7.
Fast 7, yeah. But, yeah, because like the third one was Tokyo Drift, I think.
But that's like completely removed from like, well,
Yeah, it's not. It's
mostly
barely.
removed,
It's
yeah.
barely canon.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there's one scene at the end that like ties it into the franchise, but like that could be its own standalone film. And that one's also about like mainly racing and like,
So that one's pretty normal then.
yeah, that one's a normal movie. And then I can't even remember what happened. Like I think for the fourth one,
When's The Rock come into play? I saw him swing a helicopter
the
into a
fifth
building.
one, the fifth one he comes into play. But the fourth one, Vin Diesel's girlfriend, Michelle Rodriguez, her character dies. But she's not
That's
really
tragic.
dead. No, because she
So she
comes
fakes her
back.
death?
She fakes her death, but she has her memory wiped. So like
Do
she's.
people kidnap her? Or she
I don't
just, like,
remember-
hit her head real hard.
I don't think I ever watched the fourth one. I know I've watched 5, 6, and 7.
That's when they become just like ridiculous heist movies,
Yeah,
pretty much.
like the fifth one is like we're gonna rob the richest man in Brazil, and to do that we have to break into like the police station and
and
like,
drag the safe through the streets of
Yeah.
Rio de Janeiro.
and it's just utter
on our
chaos.
cars.
Yeah,
So that's when they go from, hey, let's do something about this organized crime to
we are the organized crime.
we're the biggest crime family there is.
But the bad guys are never
Yeah.
are never the cops.
Yeah,
It's
So
like
are they
some
working
other-
with the cops as
Well,
they're running away from these?
in the fifth one, The Rock is
People-
supposed to take down like Vin Diesel,
Well, I guess The Rock is like FBI.
He's
or some shit
FBI.
like that, yeah.
but they say Vin Diesel and Paul Walker save The Rock from dying.
So he
They
jumps ship?
inevitably-
So he jumps
yeah.
ship, and he becomes part of the crew.
They inevitably become friends with
And they're-
all the
yeah.
people they're up against.
yeah, and
So
then
their family grows
Yeah.
a little bit
Yep.
bigger.
yeah, and then they get essentially clemency from the government because like
So now they're like
the sixth
special op.
Yeah, this
operators.
Yeah,
that
the
just
6th and
rob-
7th one are like them doing
they're
spec
working
ops.
for the government. Yeah, like in the 6th movie, they kill some British guy. I don't even remember what happens in the 6th.
Yeah,
movie.
neither
Did
do
they
I.
kill the British guy while he's like walking down the street, and they just like
No, he's
him?
evil. He's the villain, but
so
they
in
kill
the
him.
7th movie, Jason Statham's like, "You killed my brother." Like, that's-
And also, I gotta shock my heart every 15 minutes or I'll die. Right? That's the same movie.
Yeah, it is the same movie. But yeah, they fight Statham, and then after that,
no, but then
They
Chris
become
Rock-
them, take
yeah,
him down. Then he becomes boys with them.
Yes.
becomes friends with them.
But
And then they have a
Kurt
spin-off
Russell-
movie.
You killed my brother. I guess I need more family.
Kurt Russell comes in the 7th movie, who like works for the Department of Defense or something like that, and just like, we need your help killing Jason Statham because he's trying to kill you. So we need you guys to like draw him in, you know?
Yeah.
And that's probably the most ridiculous movie.
Which one?
of all
No,
time.
that one's the most.
I remember
That's the
seeing a
best one.
preview of The Rock grabbing like a chain attached to a helicopter and then kind of swinging it and directing it towards a building or something.
Maybe that's the eighth one. I don't know.
Vin Diesel takes out Jason Statham in that movie by stomping the floor of a parking garage, and the parking garage collapses.
Yeah,
with
it's
Jason
the most
Statham
ridiculous
standing
thing.
on top of it.
Yeah, and then
Was it already broken?
Yeah.
it was already cracked, but then, yeah, the sheer power of family
I pictured them.
breaks that whole garage down.
I pictured them just leaving like a casual lunch. And he's like, "All right, I'll see you later." And instead of giving a hug goodbye, he just stomps on the ground real hard and starts crying.
So the garage collapses, and Vin Diesel's character like goes down with the ship, obviously, because he's standing on the ground that he just broke, and he's like essentially dead. He's dead. But then Michelle Rodriguez is like, her character comes over and starts touching him,
And then
goes,
she regains her memories.
Yeah, because the whole movie.
So she just hung around this whole time
Yeah,
for like multiple movies, not knowing who these people
Yeah.
No,
were.
Vin Diesel was like, "Trust me, like we were hooking up before."
Yeah. And she's like, I remember. He's like, come on, come back to life. I love you. And that's how he gets brought back. No CPR, which, is a cliche thing they do in movies, like fake CPR to like get someone to come back. No, she's like, I love you. Please don't die.
How old do you think that garage was? How much asbestos do you
It's
think
just like
they all got?
a parking garage
it's a
in
regular
like
parking
downtown LA.
Yeah.
Oh man, these movies sound horrible.
They are.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Like I said, you have to go into it like not expecting good cinema. Just like,
See, I'll watch bad cinema and have fun with it, but like I don't know if I can handle 9 of them in a row.
the first two are good. I enjoy the first two for what they are.
And the 7th one, at some point, they're on like the 90th floor of some skyscraper in Abu Dhabi with like one of the most expensive cars in the world. And they drive it to escape from like Ronda Rousey and Jason Statham. They just drive it through the
Ronda
window.
Rousey's in the movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has like no lines.
She's just there to kick ass.
Yeah,
She's
she's
the
just there to
bodyguard?
fight Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
But they drive it off the skyscraper on the 80th floor.
Yeah.
Through
the next building.
the next skyscraper.
And then
they do it
They
again.
do it again, and then they jump out of the car, and the car plummets.
And then where do they fall?
No, they stay
They jump
inside
out like the window of the car before it falls
Yeah,
off.
they stay in the
Because
building.
there's no brakes on the car.
Yeah, they stay on the building. They jump out before the car falls off the floor and, tumbles down.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Well-
it's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, I think it was Tyrese, right? Tyrese Gibson, I think that's the actor's
Yeah.
name. I think it was him, but also in the same movie, they're having a chase on ice. And
Driving the cars on ice?
Yeah, and a tank shoots a missile at the car, but it's like a torpedo, so it just floats along the ice. And then once it hits the car, it's supposed to blow up. Tyrese pushes the missile on ice to divert it, because that's like a thing you could definitely do.
Just like kicks it?
No, like it's against the car, and he just reaches out and shoves it into like out of the way.
And they're not fighting military. These are just
I think that was.
Well, the
I think
guys
that was
have,
Russian military.
So they're fighting Russian military
in
while
the seventh.
Spec
I
Ops?
think that's in the 8th movie. we were
Okay,
talking
it's
about
probably
maybe.
it's probably in the 8th.
In the 7th one, they're just fighting some like African warlord
Oh,
who Jason
yeah.
Statham. They're like mercenaries, and Jason Statham's like contracted them to like
Yeah.
try and take down these guys.
I mean, what else just breaks the laws of physics? Oh,
When they throw Natalie Emanuel through the window of that car. As
yeah,
they're,
like onto
turning.
another.
Yeah.
They throw her directly through a car.
No. She's in the back.
She's
seat
in the
of
back of a
car.
bus, right?
Yeah.
And she needs to escape.
I'm thinking of something else, but
Yeah,
I know what
no.
you're talking about.
Like they're driving like on a windy like mountain road, and they
like
need to get.
Uzbekistan or something
Yeah,
like that.
they're breaking her out of like an RV.
Yeah.
It's basically an RV, and she's like held captive. So they open the back door of the RV, and like they're all going at like 70 miles per hour on this road, and they need to get her to the other car. So they throw her off the bus and onto the windshield of the car behind them.
And she just sticks the landing, just like, oh.
Oh, she
thanks.
slides a little bit, but she regains her balance and then gets in the car. And then
I feel like that's standard action movie procedure.
yeah. And Paul Walker's on the bus still. Like after he throws her, he fights all the bad guys on the bus. It almost goes off of a cliff. You ever see like the original Italian Job
Yeah.
where the bus is like they end the
It's dangling off.
It's dangling off, yeah. So they have it dangling off like that, except it's slipping, and he runs up the bus.
He gets on the
Roof of the bus, and he runs
it's
up it
falling
as it's
off.
Okay,
sliding
yep,
down,
yep.
and he jumps off. And I think that's where he jumps into the car. I think she
No. Someone drifts it around the edge of the cliff so that like the spoiler's hanging off.
Oh yeah, and that's when
and
he
grabs onto the
yeah.
spoiler.
Who's writing these movies? Is like Acme Studios writing them?
No, I
Is
think
it
there's
like
probably
Bugs
a
Bunny?
team of like 40 writers who all graduated
Yeah.
from like Harvard writing these movies.
Imagine.
Probably they make
Yeah.
like
They
you
make
know,
billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're one long strand away with a box labeled TNT.
Well, and then after they go through that chase, it's I don't know if it's Don or I think it is. It's Vin Diesel and Natalie Emanuel's character. The warlord pulls up on them with all like the mercenaries, and they're on the edge of the cliff. And they're like, "You have nowhere to go."
All in cars the whole time.
Yeah, they're all in cars the whole time. They're like, "Hey, you have nowhere to go. We have you trapped." And so Vin Diesel backs down the mountain, and the car's just flipping for like 2 minutes, and they're perfectly fine.
And they just drive away.
I just remembered that when Vin Diesel breaks the parking garage and takes out Jason Statham, right before he stomps his foot, he says, "The thing about a street fight, the street always wins."
And now they're going to be in space.
Yeah, now they're going to space.
And now I think John
Cena's the
bad guy.
villain.
John Cena. So they're just going to grow another member for the 10th one. And
So John Cena will eventually be a good
Yeah,
guy
he'll be-
and join their team.
Yeah,
probably.
exactly. They're gonna have two
John
WWE
Cena
champions.
Is Vin Diesel's little brother.
Oh yeah,
is his little brother?
and they've never
They're
mentioned
just bringing
once.
it up now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy who's like all about family and everything
Ignores his brother.
Never mentions his brother. That's probably why he's so pissed off. He's trying
Maybe
to
he
kill
was
him
exiled the family for his superpower of invisibility.
for his
Yeah, you can't
superior
see John
rapping
Cena.
abilities.
I do watch a lot of like I don't know if you guys have ever seen the channel on YouTube Insider, like Vanity Fair. I think it might be. No, I think it's Insider or Wired. I think it's called Wired.
I've seen Wired.
And it's like they do the show, like the thing where it's like actual Marine sniper reviews, like sniper scenes from movies.
Did they do the Marine by John Cena?
No, they didn't do the Marine by John Cena. But one of the videos I did see, it was basically talking about practical effects in movies.
Yep.
And they were saying that for this upcoming Fast and Furious movie, there's one scene, and like they showed a clip of the scene, and it's like basically a car driving flat, and then being flipped on its side, and then pulled through a building, and they like had it on a rail. I think they had it on a rail, and like they were saying like to pull that thing through just for that one, it's 4 seconds. The scene lasts 4 seconds. They said.
Yep.
It took them 100 days or something like that to shoot.
Really?
Or it was something like 30 days to shoot, 100 people
to do it
as the crew,
yeah.
and like some other like crazy thing. But it's a 4 second like shot.
Is that one of the shots where it's like, we could only pull it off once, guys, so make sure you get it?
I mean, it had to have been. Well, no, if they did it for like 30 days or whatever, like they probably had enough time. But like
the stunts in the movies are very impressive,
Yeah.
and very well executed. They're just completely implausible.
yeah,
and
they break
ridiculous.
physics.
You know what movie had great practical effects that was not too much CGI?
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
Mad Max Fury
Yeah.
Road.
Yeah,
That movie was fantastic. All the
Yep.
cars were like 70% of them were built in actual running. Like that flame guitar.
That's the
was
best
like
action movie, probably the past 20 years, easily.
20 years?
Yeah,
You think so?
yeah.
I enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie.
That movie's amazing.
there's another.
That's just
thing.
one of the best movies, period, of the past like 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah,
I'd say
I'd agree.
that movie's great.
I think in the same Wired video, because I think the whole thing was talking about car chases in movies.
Yep.
They were telling about like a technique where all those cars, they're actually driving, but they're going like 20 miles per hour.
Yeah.
But they speed the frames up in post, so it makes it look like they're zooming.
That
I
makes
forgot
sense.
what the term is, but like
I would imagine.
Fast forward.
no, no.
Times 2 speed.
Yeah.
But no, it was pretty cool. They were like showing how like that was used in like I can't remember what the name of the movie was, but it was
Fast
like
and the Furious.
no, it was like a movie from the 70s with like an actual car chase through New York.
Smoking the Bandit.
No. But
Takes New York.
it was in New York, but
Cruising.
no, I can't remember. But like it's one of the car chases where they didn't have the permits to shoot on the road.
So they just did it real slow?
No, they did it at like 40, 50 miles per hour without telling anyone, like through real traffic.
That must have been
Like
crazy.
There was a crash at one point, like obviously unplanned, and they just drove off.
Wait, they were in L.A.?
No, they were in New York.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember what the name of I'm going to look it up because it was
Yeah, we have the technology.
Yeah,
to
we do have
that.
technology to look it up. But it was insane. Like they were I didn't know that like obviously like you have to get permits for stuff like that.
I don't know what it
But
is.
they were just like, yeah, no, we didn't get any permits. We just shot it, didn't tell anyone.
I'm really excited for I love practical effects, like so much more than just CGI any day of the week. And I guess this like Eternals Marvel movie is just mostly practical effects. Like there's not gonna be much green screen or anything like that.
It's just a lot cleaned up in like post.
Yeah, I think so. It's directed by Chloe Zhao, like the director of Nomadland.
I never saw Nomadland.
Neither have I. I want to see it, but I don't think it's on any streaming service yet. And I'm not really trying to pay like $20 for it.
Jeez, I cannot find this video that explains it. Wired has such a mixed bag of things.
They're
Like-
just their content.
They roll
Yeah.
deep.
Like obviously like the technique critique is like the series that I'm talking about where they have like actual doctors come on, you know, like the thing I was saying, like Marine Sniper reviewing sniper scenes,
Yeah.
doctors reviewing surgeries and stuff like that.
Yeah, like like professional
Yeah.
gamblers reviewing like casino scenes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've watched some of those videos.
Yeah. They also have you ever see the
Do they
like
have
the
like
series-
the X's stuff on that one too?
What?
My bad.
no, what's the X's stuff?
Oh, they'll do like X's play ping pong.
No,
or
that's
Truth or Dare.
cut.
That's cut.
That's cut. But why like they have the ones where it's like Eric Andre answers the most
Right.
like Googled questions about himself. So like I'm looking like for the thing and all I see is Little Huddy answers the most web search like things about him.
I didn't realize Kit Harington's going to be in the Internals movie.
Yeah.
November
Yep.
5th.
You see they released that the first like still shot from Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's hating on it on Twitter.
Well, people weren't hating on the shot. People were just hating on the title of the headline that Vanity Fair chose to use.
You won't recognize.
Yeah, you won't recognize Leonardo DiCaprio in
It's
this.
like no, it's
like,
he's right
yeah,
there.
It just looks exactly like him.
He's a little bit chubbier.
Yeah, a
but
little bit
that's
older.
about it.
They,
yeah.
they probably put on some because the character he's playing isn't supposed to be like some like movie star looking guy, so they probably just put some makeup to make him look older and stuff like that. But he looks exactly the same.
Oh, dude, what a struggle. Being too handsome for the roles they're giving you.
Well, his character's just supposed to be like some dipshit who's getting like manipulated by his uncle.
What's the basic plot of the movie?
It's about this. It's about like the first big investigation that the FBI conducted, and there's this Native American community in Oklahoma called like the Osage Indians. I think I might be mispronouncing it, but basically the American government gave them this land there, and then like 40, 50 years after they settled there, they found a fuck ton of oil underneath it.
Oh, and they're trying to take it back?
So all of the Indians that live there, like Native Americans that live there, just got filthy rich. And it was like the highest like income per capita of like any zip code in the entire United States. And then around the 1910s, 1920s, a bunch of them just were mysteriously being murdered. And the FBI just has to come in and like investigate. It's basically what it's about.
Oh, shit. So Leo's not a millionaire in it?
Leo is married to one of the Native Americans who, like, is pretty affluent.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because the guy that always plays a bad guy and everything now, from, like, Black Mirror to Judas and Black Messiah, he's in it, right?
Yeah, he's the protagonist, though.
Yeah.
He's the main FBI agent.
Bless you. He makes a great villain.
Yeah, he does. I'm excited to see him as, like, the good guy, kind of, for once.
Did you find it?
Yeah, so the movie's called The French Connection with Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I don't recognize any of these other names.
Is that directed by Roman Polanski, or am I thinking of a different movie?
Yeah, it's a different movie. This is directed by William Friedkin.
Okay.
But the car chase is regarded as one of like the best in cinema history. So,
where in New York did they like film it? Like through, like the main.
Oh, in Brooklyn.
Oh,
Bensonhurst.
Just imagine them just ripping down the middle of Times Square and didn't tell anybody.
But that's basically like they just didn't tell anyone, and they're just like moving in and out, like almost hitting pedestrians. Like they literally hit another car,
and then they just left.
Yeah, and that collision was left in the film, which is kind of cool. But
I mean, yeah, it definitely makes it super unique.
Yeah,
I love when things get left in the film.
Like like the
coffee cup.
The coffee cup. The stormtrooper hitting his head on the door.
Yeah,
it's always funny.
Nerd things to look out for.
You know, I'm very observant when I watch films, so I notice a lot of this stuff.
But that's how, like, people break down the Kubrick movies and all that spider web of nonsense or craziness.
Stanley Kubrick was such an insane person, though, that I do get the argument for, like, most of the things that are on screen being deliberate in some way. Not to say that he was, like, you know, signaling that he had helped fake the moon landing in The Shining or something like that.
That's like the biggest one.
Right. But the one that a lot of people bring up, which is like almost certainly true, is that The Shining is in some ways about like the mass genocide of like the Native Americans and stuff like that.
I could see that.
There's a lot of stuff suggesting that. Like the Shining Hotel was built in like sacred Indian land.
Yeah.
Which is why it's like it's insinuated that's why it's so haunted and stuff.
It's always fun to see Stephen King hates the Shining movie with like a passion. He did not like what they did with it.
I mean, that's understandable because you know he wrote the book with like probably a different vision, but
there was
can't
a
knock
lot
the movie,
right? Yeah, there's a lot of differences. Like in the book, the Overlook Hotel burns down at the end of the movie.
Yeah, they do that in Doctor Sleep.
Yeah, that happens in but I think his biggest problem was that he wanted Jack Nicholson, like Jack Torrance.
Yeah.
That character in the book is supposed to be like a pretty normal, like well put together guy who then gets corrupted by the hotel and goes insane. Whereas in the movie, he's kind of depicted to be already like a kind of unshoveled guy who's already losing it. Like he's an alcoholic before he gets to the hotel. It's suggested that he like hit Danny once.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole bunch of stuff like that that's not in the book.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff like that. He changed a lot of the room numbers and whatnot too, from the book to the movie.
Is 230? Is that in the book? 237?
No, it's a different number.
Okay. Which is why people are like, "Oh, it must have meant something for Kubrick for him to like make it that specific number." Who knows? It's probably just that was the room, the hotel they were shooting at that looked the creepiest.
I still never seen the movie. Was it Eyes Wide Shut, the Kubrick movie?
That is a great movie.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah,
but they say that's like a rumor responsible for his death.
Right. Well, they say like the conspiracy is that he was trying to expose like all the pedophile elite and shit like that in like Hollywood. And so then when he died, like before the movie came out, they were like, oh, they were trying to like keep him from making the movie out, putting the movie out and like edit the final release of the movie. But who the hell knows? It's just a great movie, you know.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna watch the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight when it comes out?
Oh, I'm for sure watching it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm not gonna buy it, but
yeah,
I'll watch it.
What'd you think of the whole hat stealing?
It's childish.
Oh, do you think it was
definitely childish?
I don't know if it was planned or not.
It didn't look planned.
It didn't look like Floyd looked pissed, like backstage. I mean, but again, that could also be a way to drum up more views, and like maybe Floyd was, just
I think
artificially
it was
like
planned in the sense that it was like premeditated from Jake. He was probably like, I'm going to walk up to him and I'm taking his hat,
Yeah.
It wasn't a spur of the moment thing, but I don't think it was planned in the sense that like Jake's team went to Floyd's team and was like, hey, we're going to steal your hat.
I didn't think so. Yeah. I didn't think so either.
Because I don't think Floyd's that good of an actor to be, because he was
he hit Jake.
I would say he had like a black eye after or something.
So yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. I don't think it was planned in that sense. No,
but neither do I.
If you're Logan Paul, how do you feel about that?
Scared.
I'm pissed.
I'm scared because I know that Floyd's going to come for blood.
Right. He's going to get revenge. He's going to take it out on me.
Yeah.
Get revenge.
And it's not even my fault.
Yeah. Like, something. I feel like Logan's been like not talking that much shit in the run up to the fight or anything like that.
Just taking it a little seriously.
Yeah.
Or like you could kind-hearted like Floyd's a funny guy. You could kind-heartedly like have a back and forth, like joke around and all that. But I don't know, like I'm not gonna say what Jake did like cross the line because like there's worse things you could do, but like it's childish.
It is really childish. What do you think would be crossing the line? So if he's drumming up, I don't know, it might happen someday.
I don't know.
It'd be fun.
I don't know what.
Challenge him to a literacy test or something like that.
He just steals someone's car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what crossing the line would be, but I don't think like taking his hat off of him is like, I don't think it's that serious. I'd be pissed, but like I don't think it's like,
it's just a sign of disrespect.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. It's disrespectful.
Like a joke, like a spectacle. I don't know.
I just don't see why Jake has to get himself involved because it's not his fight; it's his brother's. But
he's like banned from the event now, apparently.
Is he really?
Oh man,
a reasonable response.
Yeah, it's reasonable. Kind of sucks, but
what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Jake just wants any attention he can get, which is smart for his brand, I suppose.
Yeah. Friend of the pod, David Dobrik's doing and do nothing.
Yeah. Well, he's like a heel. He's just like a classic WWE heel.
Yeah,
Jake Paul. Which is smart because someone has to fill that role for like entertainment purposes. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to like marketing. Because he doesn't want people to like him. He just wants to sell fights. He wants people to buy the fight to see him get his ass kicked.
Yeah, but he's choosing. I mean, imagine if he ends up fighting Floyd Mayweather.
I mean, that's money.
I don't think he would, though.
I mean,
at least not for a few years.
Yeah, if he's smart, he won't.
I think he's just going to keep knocking out like fringe amateur fighters.
Yeah.
Or just other celebrities.
Like he'll fight Tyson Fury's brother or something like that.
Like that would be because that dude's completely unproven.
Yeah.
He's barely even like a professional boxer.
Chuck Liddell said he'll fight him.
Chuck Liddell squaring off, and that'd be sick.
I honestly think Jake Paul might win that.
Dana White.
Chuck's pretty old.
Chuck is old.
He's
Did
so
you watch his
washed.
fight against Tito? It was terrible.
Was it
horrible.
bad?
Yeah,
It was
it was
embarrassing.
terrible.
When was that fight?
It was a couple years ago. Right?
It was bad. It was hard to watch.
I guess he in his like mid-50s, right?
It was like, at least with Tyson and Holyfield, I don't know. You could still see a spark in Tyson there,
Right.
And Holyfield knew that he's like, oh, okay, I don't got it anymore. Like
Yeah.
I shouldn't have stepped in this ring. With Tito and Chuck, they both were like, no, we could still do this.
Yeah, they're completely delusional.
And none of them, like, it did not look like either of them could fight. Like with Tyson, at least Tyson showed flashes of like, oh, I could still hit.
Yeah.
I could still hit pretty hard. Those two, no.
Did it end or did it go to decision?
I think someone got knocked out. I'll check.
I would imagine they're probably just standing up, swinging at each other.
Yeah, it was
Would
bad.
it be an MMA fight if Jake fought
Chuck? No,
Yeah.
definitely
No.
not. No. Jake would get his ass kicked. Like
Yeah.
kicked in the jaw?
he would just get tackled and then just like probably get submitted in
Yeah.
like 30 seconds.
Tito knocked him out in the first round.
Oh damn, Chuck
Like,
Liddell.
yeah, it wasn't anything fun to watch.
The Iceman got iced.
But Dana came out and said today too that Jake isn't allowed. Like he won't allow a UFC fighter to box Jake. And Jake tweeted at him like, "I've done more in your boxing career than like you've ever done." Dana White pays his ring girls more than his fighters. That's kind of funny.
That is good.
That's a good tweet.
Who gives a shit? Dana's a businessman.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit if you've done more in the actual ring than he has?
Yeah.
What's the story of how he came to own UFC? Because he wasn't the founder.
I think
I have no idea, honestly.
he was like
I'll look it up.
like an on-air personality guy, I think, or something like that.
and
Like
then
he was an
slowly took
announcer.
over.
It was kind of like what happened with Vince McMahon, where like I don't think Vince McMahon was like the
No, but his father started the wrestling thing,
oh yeah,
and then
yeah,
his
right.
dad bought up like all the smaller.
he was a
Right.
manager for
Big-
Chuck
big
and
one.
Tito. That's how he.
So he was like a fight promoter.
yes,
Chuck
kind
Liddell?
of. Yeah, he was their manager. He's
And
from
Tito
Manchester. I had
Ortiz?
no clue.
Manchester.
Connecticut. Yeah, I had no
Dana
clue. he was-
White is?
Yeah, I didn't know he was a Connecticut guy. It's cool.
And then wasn't the company was like going out of business or
no.
something like that?
That all right. So I remember reading this. So he boxed up in like Maine, or yeah, he boxed in Maine. Was kind of like part of a gym in Boston, and then
then the-
Whitey Bulger was like never come back to Boston again.
He said
he
that
was
to Dana.
Yeah, because
He
he
was
was
looking-
down money.
Yeah.
Like Dana was down money, and he was like, "Don't ever come back to Boston." So he left. I guess he went to Vegas. I guess that's where he met up with Chuck and Tito. Became their manager. He's childhood friends with the Fertittas.
Who's the Fertittas?
Very
Those are the-
rich. Like,
Those are the guys who bought the UFC.
Oh, okay.
So he's childhood friends with them. They found
isn't he the owner of the Rockets too?
Yes. Yeah. But at that time they were just Fertitta was a former commissioner of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, also a founder of a couple of casinos out there in Vegas.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And then Dana White was like, "Hey, let's like UFC's going under, like let's buy it." Cuz
So Dana doesn't own it outright completely?
Dana's just part of the Fertittas own it. Dana's just a part of.
He's like the face of it now. the
He's
VP
like,
or
yeah,
something.
and he was the one because he knew the guy who owned the UFC while he was managing Chuck and Tito, and that guy was like, "Oh, I'm looking to sell." They bought it for $2 million. Now it's worth $4 billion.
Oh my god!
The return on investment is incredible, but like Dana was there for pretty much the whole thing. He tipped them off to buy it.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that is crazy. Jeez.
I don't know how much he's worth. It says his net worth is about $500 million.
Dana
Dana's
White?
is?
Yeah.
All right, so he has a decent share of the company.
Yeah.
I would say.
What is it? I thought it was worth $4 billion now. I could be wrong, but pretty sure I saw something. UFC.
Well, it just got bought by ESPN, so Disney owns it.
Did it get bought by ESPN, or did they just get the broadcasting rights?
I think they just have the broadcasting rights.
I think it's just the media rights for UFC.
In 2016, it was sold to a group of private investors for $4 billion. That's where that number comes from. Dana gets 9% of all future profit on that deal, which is and think about it, 2016 that was sold, so that's probably mid. That's like the middle of Conor's height in the UFC. He probably still had a couple matches after that, which, I mean, if you look at the UFC's like top selling events,
that's right before he probably went to
fight Floyd.
Yeah.
But if you look at all of Conor's fights, they're all in the top 10 of like the highest grossing fights and like the highest grossing events in UFC history. I think Conor owns more than half. You could fact check me on that, but
I'm looking it up now.
So they sold it in 2016. So 2016. That's before the Diaz fight. That's before Eddie Alvarez. That was it. I don't know when they sold it, but both Diaz fights happened after 2006 or in 2016.
It says Khabib McGregor is the number one.
Yeah.
Then McGregor Poirier 2.
Yep.
Diaz McGregor 2. Gregor Cerrone, Cowboy.
Yep.
Gregor Diaz 1. Gregor Alvarez. And then Usman Masvidal rounded it out.
That was at what, 7, right?
Yeah.
The top 6 are Conor.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of those fights that you listed, Conor and Aldo weren't there, right? That's not on there?
Aldo is one more after Masvidal.
So 8. So 7 of the top 8 are Conor is Conor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So when was the date of when they actually sold the UFC to the private investor? It was in 2016.
How do the fighters get paid? Because, I mean, McGregor's doing fine, but he also owns the whiskey. And then other fighters say they don't make anything. You know?
Well, yeah,
Do you get like a portion of the pay-per-view profits, or do you?
Yeah, you get a portion of the pay-per-view profits. It also depends on the contract you have with the UFC.
Because I know they sign fight deals.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like
so you get
fight deal.
You get a set amount of money for that deal, right? So that's like just for you to show up, and then your performance bonus.
You can get the knockout of the night.
You get knockout of the night, sub of the night, fight of the night. Yeah, so performance bonuses, and then anything from the gate and like pay-per-view buys. And I mean, like, that's tough because obviously they haven't been able to have fans in the stadiums.
But maybe they're selling more pay-per-views because everyone's trying to watch it at home.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I would imagine, because like golf ratings went up during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I'd imagine UFC's did.
So yeah, like 7. So Conor owns 7 of the 8 of those fights, top grossing. 6 of those fights happened after
2016.
So just imagine the money Dana's made with that 9% holding, like, on all future
all the
profit.
work he put into building.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, he did a lot to get it there.
He seems like a very interesting guy.
Yeah.
He seems like a great guy to go drinking with for like the weekend.
They said after signing that ESPN deal, it went up another $3 billion in value. Insane. So it's like $7 billion right now.
Yeah, because they were stuck on Fox before that.
Yeah.
Who barely even like promoted them.
Yeah.
ESPN plays them all the time now.
Oh yeah, ESPN gives them so much coverage. The week leading up to even just like a fight night, they'll just have it like next to the ticker the whole time. Like, they promote the shit out of it.
I feel like it's becoming less of a
niche sport.
Before it was like fringe popular.
Now it's a little bit more mainstream.
Yeah, it's like in your face,
which is cool. I mean, like, it's an enjoyable sport to watch.
You could make the argument that it's like more popular on a national level than, say, like Major League Baseball.
It might get more views now. I don't know, pay-per-view views versus like the World Series.
It's certainly more popular than the NHL.
Yeah, dude.
That I think
or
is
hockey.
that's definitely
Like hockey and
More.
baseball are just becoming like regional sports at this point.
yeah.
Baseball still has like a cult following of people that love baseball.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have quite as wide of like a national appeal, you know? Like,
Yeah, dude. Even boxing.
Yeah, like Sunday night baseball, I don't think is getting the same viewers that a UFC event will
no,
get.
definitely not.
Football's definitely dropping a lot too in popularity.
Mm,
That's why they put it on Nickelodeon.
Football will
No,
always
they still put up monster ratings.
Yeah. Football will
Football's
never
king.
stop. Yeah.
When they show like sports ratings for the year, they have to separate the list between NFL and like all other sports because the entire like top 10 will just be like football games.
Well, if you think about it too, there's so many baseball games where it's like,
Yeah,
if
exactly. You can miss
one.
one. Yeah,
You're
it's
not
that
out
big
of
a
the
deal.
loop.
Same thing with basketball too, and hockey to an extent. Like,
Yeah,
you're playing 82 games, something like that.
7-game series like in the playoffs and whatnot. Like,
Yeah. You could miss out on a game or like even half a game and then come back and just like watch the rest of it. But like football, you only get, well, I mean, now you're getting 17, but before it was, you get 16 and then 3 in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's a finite amount.
Yeah. So when we invent our sport, we have to do a finite amount.
Yeah. Only 3 games a year.
One
Three
game
one-
every 4 years.
Absolute
Yeah,
marathon
on-
of game.
Yeah. 1 game every 4 years on the leap day.
Mhm.
So we got our own day for you guys to watch.
And you have to have the same your roster set for 20 years.
Yeah.
20-year roster.
Yeah. So
Do we draft children now?
Yes,
and hope
there's
they
no.
play later?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you draft like a 6'9", like 11-year-old, and just hope that
That he turns into
it
something.
all shakes out. It'd be very interesting. One team would get lucky and probably just end up way better.
I feel like
Yeah.
it'd have to be a mix between like a lacrosse style game with like a bunch of people just running around a field.
Oh, no. You have a 20-man roster and all 20 men are in play
We could do the
at
game.
once, so it's 40 on the field.
We do
Oh,
the-
right. So if you draft like a 30-year-old dude, he's going to be 50 in his last game.
Yeah.
And then they'll cycle out after 20 years. So then, after that 50-year-old retires, you go and you draft like some,
extreme consequences.
some
too, like,
12-year-old or something.
Yeah.
the whole losing team has to give the winning team their bank accounts. Just something just wild.
Yeah, everyone bets
Yeah.
their life savings. That's the pot for the game.
They get to
It just-
fuck the other team's wives.
So
It's a real all or nothing type game.
what if it's a game? Hear me out. Everyone gets one wooden shield, and the ball is actually a hatchet. And the way you score is there's just like telephone posts, and different yardages out in the field from the center. And you have to stick the hatchet onto the telephone post, but you can't hit anybody.
And you're riding around on a horse.
No,
Well,
on foot.
Well,
A couple people have horses.
my
Good idea.
idea
Roster of
was
40.
it was 40 men on the field, all on horses. It's just one big joust. Whoever has more players up on their horses at the end of it.
So kind of like the Russian MMA, but are we gonna find? Are we gonna find lifespan for this to span 30? I mean, I guess if you get hit with a joust once every 4 years, you could take that, right?
Yeah, you have 4 years to recover
Yeah, just take it
if
on the
you
chin.
aren't decapitated. Dude, I completely forgot
Does
about
everybody go at once?
Yeah, everyone goes at once.
We just buy the rights for Slam Ball and get that going again.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the game on trampolines?
Yeah, it's the trampoline basketball.
How are you gonna fit 40 people in there?
Well, it's not going to be
Bigger
40.
trampolines.
Bigger. I like the way you think.
No, it's 2 trampolines.
Yeah.
And that's the court. You have to bounce. It's like full court basketball, except it's 2 trampolines. Maybe 3 so we could have a neutral ground in the middle.
And we just every 4 years go to Walmart and get a couple trampolines, spend the night before, community put it together and have a couple beers before battle.
Oh, yeah, I forgot there's one game every 4 years.
Our overhead costs are absolutely nothing.
Think of the reward.
But for the players, it's their lives.
We should build one giant thing of scaffolding next to the field,
So
and then just go over there and smoke cigars the whole time, and have tiny monocles, and
Yeah. Drink espresso.
yeah, and like fine brandy but we pour the bottles into like crystal bottles before we go up there. So
Dude, I
there's
totally
a shelf of ambiguous liquor.
I totally forgot about the 4 or like the 5-on-5 UFC that they do in like Russia and Poland.
Oh yeah. Also, you can draft embryos too.
You could call dibs on future kids.
Yeah, playing the long game. Yeah, I forgot that existed.
Oh yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch it? It's 5-on-5 UFC fight. They're over in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, because once one dude taps out, it's just you're ganging
You
up
just have
on.
a side advantage, size advantage, and just
So basically, you're looking just to keep your team as 5 for the longest.
Yeah.
Because the second you start losing numbers, like you're fucked.
We could do. I would just imagine you and 4 of your buddies going against a bunch of UFC fighters.
We should start doing that with other podcasts. The
Fight-
4 of
fight
us
other
versus
podcasts?
fight other podcasts. The
Like
4 of us,
successful podcast.
yeah, because then we could take the
yeah.
title.
Who could we take?
Who do you want to call out?
The fighter and the kid.
I
All
think
right,
they could.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on that one. You guys got it though.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe
No,
Rogan.
I think he
gonna
could take the
pass on
4
that
of
one,
us.
too.
We need someone more slow and
Pod Save America. We could beat up those nerds.
Cometown. That could be a brawl.
They're all short.
Are they?
Yeah.
Really?
The tallest one is Adam, who's like 5'8".
That'll be an easy dub. We could take them.
Yeah. Chapo.
Chapo, Trapo.
Yeah, we could take those nerds.
Dude, podcast about lists. We could probably get them.
What other?
But I think they're pretty. I think we'd lose. I don't know. I think we could take them. Battle.
Last podcast on the left, isn't one of them like 6'7"?
6'8". Yeah.
All right, we're gonna pass on that one.
I was gonna say.
Oh, dude, yeah. Call him out.
That thing better be good at bleeping.
No, definitely.
All right.
That's definitely bleeped out. If not, I'll cut it out myself.
No one responds to her fight invitation, so we all bring mirrors.
Oh, Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen's podcast.
Oh yeah, we could easily take
them.
those two.
We could take those old men.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Ben Shapiro podcast, easy.
That'll be an absolute brawl.
What if we just take all those people and then we have to draft our mega teams out of that, so when we fight, just really get some big bank accounts in there to make it interesting.
Oh, so you're saying like it's a 20-on-20.
Yeah. Once every 4 years.
All right. Well, in that case, I kind of want Barack and Bruce on my side. It'd be pretty sick.
That would be cool.
To say
Just
I
to
fought
say
along.
with them, yeah. We lost, but we fought valiantly.
Yeah.
You know?
20
With
years.
the boss.
You
the
walk
press.
onto the pitch and next to Cyborg Barack Obama. Just pops a ball in his hand. Just pats you in the back and goes, I've been waiting for this day.
It's 4 long years. But no, another thing I've been watching, I don't know if the 5-on-5, I think it's Russian and Polish. I think there's I think it's just Eastern European in general.
Yeah.
But one of the things I've been watching a lot of, the Twitch streamer Moist Critical has been doing reviews on the slapping contests.
Oh, I've been seeing those come up everywhere.
Dude, I've been enjoying those so much.
That looks... People's ears are bleeding in some of them.
Yeah. People are getting like straight up knocked out. You ever seen any of those videos, Nick?
Oh, the slap videos? Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen those.
Their hands are like the size of dinner plates. Just 400-pound man clapping you.
You're getting chalked up and you're just, slapping the soul out of someone.
Oh, Red Scare, we could take them. It's like 2 90-pound ketamine addicts. That'd be easy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Call her daddy.
oh, yeah, we could.
Take
What if we
them.
just do rushing slapping contests with them?
Wait, I saw.
Wait, is there a different Call Her Daddy host now, or is there just that one girl?
I think they rotate through Barstool hosts or something.
We could take.
So they'll have Tommy Smokes on sometimes, just talking about.
Other than Big Cat and PFT, I think we could take any Barstool podcaster. I wouldn't want to fight Big Cat. He's a nice guy.
And he's big.
Yeah, he's a big dude. I don't think.
What
we
are
could
the
take
other
him.
Barstool podcasts that are big?
The Short Porsche with Hubs and whoever we could definitely beat the.
Oh,
fuck
we
out of
definitely
Hubs.
could not beat up Section 10. Carabas is jacked, and Coley is like 6'6".
All right, well, we have Chris Jones.
Nah.
No, it doesn't matter. He's average in the grand scheme of things.
No, yeah, we couldn't beat up Section 10.
Oh, I'm getting nervous calling all these podcasts for bro.
None of them are going to listen to this. Come on.
My face.
But if they do,
I'm too handsome.
I'm ready for battle.
Just randomly show up somewhere like middle of the field every 4 years.
Where
like Anchorman 2.
Yeah. Or like that Josh fight that just happened in Nebraska.
Right.
Yeah, we could do
We
that.
could Josh him.
Who else would be?
The Bill Simmons podcast. He's like 50.
Yeah.
And so are all his friends.
Chris Ryan.
As long as they don't
beat
have
the fuck out of that
Russillo.
dude.
Oh, yeah. Sean Fennessy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that nerd. Ryan Russillo. No, that dude's jacked.
Yeah, he's a pretty big dude.
I got to start training. I got the Rocky vinyl now.
We're literally calling out every single podcast we could think of.
That's how you do it. That's the road to success. This is the Jake Paul strategy, you know? Just get everyone to hate you so that they talk about you.
We could beat up Logan Paul's podcast.
Could we? I don't think we could.
I don't think we could.
Logan's a trained boxer in the grand... Like,
Yeah.
compared to
And
us,
he's
Logan's a
just
trained
big.
boxer.
He's a big dude, too.
They're like both over like 6'3", 6'4".
I don't know. I'm
Fight
like
experience.
I'm like 6'5", like 215, pure muscle.
That is true, Jeff.
Yeah, you
That's
are
true.
6'5", 215 of pure muscle, so that would help us.
That's a big advantage.
I didn't consider that.
Yeah. Now we could start taking on some of these big... Yeah. You know what? I said we weren't going to fight Big Cat. We're fighting Big Cat now.
And Victor, you're recovering very well from the Jack's surgery you got.
The Jack surgery?
Yeah, he has huge metal arms now from like Mortal Kombat.
He's the
Science
Winter
and technology is amazing. I think we could take,
Yeah.
I can only use one arm, though. If I use two robot arms, I might kill someone.
And I have this shank, too.
Yeah, Nick has that shank, so
Is that
you got to
rusty-
watch out for
Is
us.
that dried blood? That looks kind of fresh.
So it really is like the Anchorman fight. Yeah, we should wrap this up. Yeah, in closing, no one took us up on our email, our merch promotion from last week.
Zero
emails.
Oh, you guys dropped an ad in at the end, or what?
We plugged our merch. We said first person to email us gets a sticker.
I'm amazed if anybody listens through this long.
Oh, me too.
Yes.
We should say this type of shit in the beginning.
Yeah.
We should.
That's why.
No, there's definitely people who listen to the end.
Maybe.
The graphs prove that some people, a good portion of the people, get to the ending.
I mean, Nick did play it one time and put it on mute and then put it in his pocket.
Yeah, but that
was only the first episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, the graphs prove that people listen to the end, you know. So, guys, guess what?
get a
Merch
damn
promotion
sticker.
is now over. No one took us up on it. We're not doing it
We're
anymore.
keeping all the stickers for ourselves.
Yep. When you see a sticker on a stop sign somewhere in the middle of town,
You know it's Victor, and you should definitely get him for littering.
yeah.
Vandalism.
But also, you should feel bad about yourself for not getting that free sticker. Now it's just going to sit on a stop sign.
And Victor's going to be in jail.
And I'm going to be in prison. All because you didn't send us an email.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Email of your cat. I don't know.
Yeah, your cat, nudes. We'll accept nudes. Fuck it.
Yeah. Make sure there's a lot of face in the nudes, though. Full face.
So that
I
way
want
we
that
could.
weird angle where the camera's like looking down on the person.
Oh, I was going the other way. I want to be looking up.
Oh, yeah.
Uncomfortable amount of grundle. Really shows what you have, you know?
Right.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Hopefully
about-
next
that's gonna
week
be
we have all four of us.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But you know, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
All right, peace out, guys.